Hello students, welcome back to the YouTube channel of Guinness Public School. We have started chapter 2, microorganisms, friend and foe. So far we have discussed the basic categories in which we have divided all the microorganisms present around us. That is, there were five categories, that is algae, fungi, protozoa, bacteria and viruses. Clear? Now let us discuss whether the microorganisms are friends or foe. Okay, so let us talk about first friendly microorganisms. Okay, so human beings have been using microorganisms for years to produce food items. Clear? Like curd, cheese, bread, we have been using it like many a times. You might have seen the process of making curd at your homes every day. Okay, and if you are not observing it today, this is your task. All of you will have to prepare curd today for yourself. Okay, take help of your mother, okay, or elders. Okay, and you will have to prepare curd today. Clear? You need to check how you are able to do this. Okay, and then tomorrow, like when we will meet, you will discuss your you will tell me the experience which you have had, okay, while you have prepared the curd, and what is the process you have followed, and what is the role of microorganisms in that process. Clear? So this is what you have to do. This is your today's homework. Clear? You all will have to prepare curd for yourself today. Clear? Now, so microorganisms is being used from very like many a times and every day, almost every day at everyone's houses. Clear? But other than these common uses, there are some additional uses where we are using microorganisms. So there are basically four categories in which we are using microorganisms. Number one, in food and beverage industries. Okay, in food and beverage industries, in making medicines and vaccines. Okay, in agriculture to increase soil's fertility and cleaning the environment as decomposers. Clear? So microorganisms have four uses other than these common uses or common everyday uses. Okay, these are the main four other uses. Okay, so let us discuss all these four different uses one after other in very detail. So let us take first, that is food and beverage industries. Okay, so in the food and beverage industries, in the making of curd, we used to use it. First of all, making of curd from milk. Okay, so the bacterium called lactobacillus reproduce in the milk and helps to convert milk into curd. Okay, so basically while we are making curd, what we used to do, we used to take some fresh milk where there is no microorganisms, it is a fresh milk, and we used to add some of the curd which is already prepared. Okay, some sample or some very little amount of curd, and add that little amount of curd into the milk, and in the next morning we will see the entire milk is converted into curd. How it happens? Because of the presence of this bacterium called lactobacillus. Okay, it is already there in the curd, the small curd which as a sample we have added in the milk. Okay, and then over the night it reproduces itself. Okay, that microorganism, because microorganism is a living organism, so it reproduces itself and convert all the molecules of the milk into curd, and thus increasing the number of lactobacillus in a huge amount. Okay, and thus converts it into in the curd. Clear? So again, I have told you this you will have to do today. You have to prepare curd. Okay, so the name of this bacteria which is present in the curd is lactobacillus. Okay, now the second application is making bread. Okay, so for making bread, what we need to do, we need to use yeast. Clear? That is a unicellular fungi which is yeast. Okay, you need to add yeast in it, and which makes it fluffy. Okay, so yeast reproduces rapidly and produce carbon dioxide and alcohol during the process of breaking down of sugar. Okay, so whatever sugar is present in the contents out of which we used to prepare, or the dough out of which we used to prepare the bread, in that dough sugar is present already, okay, and when we used to add yeast in it, what would happen? Yeast is a fungi which reproduces itself and produces carbon dioxide and alcohol during this process, okay, and this process is called fermentation. So what is fermentation? When fermentation is the process when the sugar break down into carbon dioxide and alcohol. Clear? What is the process? The process of fermentation is the process in which fermentation is the process in which the sugar breaks down into alcohol and carbon dioxide in the limited supply of air. Clear? This is what fermentation is. So basically yeast helps to ferment the food item and thus obtain the required item, okay, food item, okay. So this evolution of when this gas evolved out of it, when this carbon dioxide gas evolved during the reproduction of yeast inside a bread mold, bread dough, what would happen? It causes rise, it causes dough to rise, okay. That means these bubbles, these gas bubbles used to present or comes out or appears into the dough, between the dough, and thus these bubbles makes the dough very fluffy, okay. And when this dough is baked, more bubbles of gases are formed due to the heat, and as the gas escapes, because of the heat, the gas escapes, the carbon dioxide gas escapes, and the bread rises and becomes soft and fluffy. Clear? So, and the heat and the alcohol which is produced during the process of yeast, what would happen to that? It evaporates during the process of baking. Clear? So in the bread production or the bakery industry, this yeast is very commonly used, and fermentation process is like taking place. And I am telling you the definition of fermentation one more time, that the breaking down of sugar into carbon dioxide and alcohol in a limited supply of air is called fermentation. Clear? So this fermentation process is done in the bakery industry most of the time, and when we used to bake these fermented doughs, what would happen? Gas escapes due to the heat, and also that alcohol evaporates. Thus what is left behind? Those fluffy baked items are left behind, okay. Now the same process is done in the idli, dosa and dhokla production. Like you might have loved to eat idli, dosa and dhokla. The same process is happening. Both idli and dosa are prepared by a mixture of dal and rice that has been grinded to a fine paste and left. And when these bacteria are mixed with this, that yeast is mixed with this, these bacteria are mixed with this, what would happen? This paste, what would happen? And when they will leave it for few hours, what would happen? It causes fermentation, which rises the mixture and becomes sour. Clear? Acidic, okay, sour. So in the same way, dhokla, Gujarati dhokla, dish dhokla is made, okay. So again in the same this paste, they used to add some bacteria, okay, and ferment and leave it for fermentation process. Clear? And of course the next use of these like microorganisms in the food industry is making alcohol, okay. Yeast is used in commercial production of alcohol and wine. The fungus called yeast produces in sugar solution and converts it into alcohol. This process is called fermentation, okay. Clear? So basically, as I told you, what is fermentation? Fermentation is breaking down of sugar present in any food item, and fermentation is the process which break down the sugar present in any food item into carbon dioxide and alcohol. Clear? So of course, so for the production of alcohol, we need to have the fermentation process, and we use yeast for this. Clear? Is it clear? So far we have discussed what is the use of bacteria or microorganisms, bacteria and fungus, microorganisms in the food and beverage industries. Clear? Now let us talk about the second topic, which is making medicines and vaccines. Clear? So both bacteria and fungi both bacteria and fungi. That means first two categories of microorganisms are used to prepare medicines called antibiotics. Okay, what is the meaning of anti? Anti means against, and bios means life. Okay, so antibiotics means these are the drugs which people used to give, which doctors used to give, which used to kill the disease causing microorganisms, disease causing microorganisms. Clear? So antibiotics, which are made up of bacteria and fungi, they used to fight against the disease causing microorganisms inside the body. So these are commonly used in the formation of antibiotics. Clear? Therefore it is used for the cure of diseases. Penicillin was extracted by the species called penicillium. Okay, so I hope you remember this penicillium. See, fungi, second picture of this fungi, and the fungi category is penicillium. So penicillin is the antibiotic which we can get from that particular fungi, okay, penicillium, and which is commonly used for the treatment of this. Okay, so some other antibiotics which are commonly used or found with the help of bacteria are streptomycin, okay, tetracycline, and etc. Clear? So these are the common antibiotics which are prepared through by the use of bacteria and fungi. Okay, now let's talk about vaccines. Okay, so what are vaccines? So many microorganisms are used to make vaccines which protects the human from several diseases such as cholera, typhoid, and tuberculosis. Okay, hepatitis, chickenpox, measles, polio, and tetanus. Okay, so vaccines are basically antibiotics. Antibiotics are the medicines which are used, which are prepared with the help of bacteria and fungi, and which we used to give to a person who is already sick. Now, vaccines are the medicines which are prepared by the scientists, which constitutes both appropriate amount of fungi and bacteria. We used to provide these vaccines well before in time to a person, so that whenever that particular disease causing bacteria or microorganisms attack on the body, what would happen? These antibodies or antibiotics which we have already provided to a person as a vaccine would start fighting against these attacks and save that person from that particular disease. Okay, so nowadays people used to give the entire course of vaccines to the small infants, children's, so that they can fight against those commonly causing diseases due to the microorganisms. Clear? So how these vaccines works basically? So when these antibodies actually, when they are injected inside the body in the beginning of life, what would happen? They remain there. Okay, they remain there inside the body. They get attached with the immunity boosting cells inside the body. Okay, and remains in the body to provide protection against the future attack of the germs. Okay, and thus this process increases the immunity against the disease causing microbes or microorganisms. Clear? The vaccination is therefore known as immunization. Clear? Vaccination, providing of vaccination is also called immunization basically. Clear? When we are saying someone is very immune against any kind of diseases, that means he is having that amount of microorganisms disease causing that amount of microorganisms inside the body which fight against the disease causing microorganisms, and which increases the immunity. Clear? So these are the most important uses of microorganisms, and all these uses proves that microorganisms are friendly. Clear? So as the title of this chapter says, microorganisms, friend and foe. So some of the microorganisms are very friendly, very helpful, and without them it is very difficult for us to survive. like in the food industry it is very essential, okay. And also other than food industry, making of medicines and vaccines are the most important factor or the important function of these microorganisms all around us. There are two more uses of microorganisms which are left to discuss, that we will discuss in the next class. Thank you so much.